the back problems. So we have about 2 hours. So we'll speak about book distribution. You have an upcoming marathon, I believe. How many of you have been out on books regularly? Who has already distributed some books before? You've never distributed books?
No.
But you want to find out about it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, good. Always new things to learn, right?
Exactly.
Good. Thanks for coming and joining us. So first, we're going to read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, a couple of verses. And then I'll say a few things. We have some stories, questions and answers. I'll also ask some of you to speak your realizations. If you get hungry, we have some snacks here. There's fresh water, there's air, so not too much sunshine, but never mind. We just came from Italy, there's plenty of sunshine. So. Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
This is from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, 23rd chapter, Life's Ultimate Goal, text 105 and onwards. Yukta Vairagya Stiti Sava Shikaila, Shushka Vairagya Jnana Sava Nishedila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then told Sanatana Goswami about proper renunciation according to a particular situation, and the Lord forbade dry renunciation and speculative knowledge in all respects. Purport. This is the technique for understanding Shushka Vairagya and Yukta Vairagya. In Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, text 17, it is said, Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta svapnavabodhasya yoga bhavati dukkhaha. He who is tempered in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. To broadcast the cult of Krishna consciousness, one has to learn the possibility of renunciation in terms of country, time, and candidate. A candidate for Krishna consciousness in the Western countries should be taught about the renunciation of material existence, but one would teach candidates from a country like India in a different way. The teacher, Acharya, has to consider time, candidate, and country. He must avoid the principle of niyamagraha, that is, he should not try to perform the impossible. What is possible in one country may not be possible in another. The Acharya's duty is to accept the essence of devotional service. There may be a little change here and there as far as Yukta Vairagya, proper renunciation, is concerned. Dry renunciation is forbidden by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we have also learned it from our spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj. The essence of devotional service must be taken into consideration, and not the outward paraphernalia. Sanatana Goswami wrote his Vaishnava Smriti, Hari Bhakti Vilas, which was specifically meant for India. In those days, India was more or less following the principle of Smarta Vidhi. Srila Sanatana Goswami had to keep pace with this, and his Hari Bhakti Vilas was compiled with this in mind. According to Smarta Brahmins, a person not born in a Brahmin family could not be elevated to the position of a Brahmin. Sanatana Goswami, however, says in Hari Bhakti Vilas that anyone can be elevated to the position of a Brahmin by the process of initiation. As bell metal is turned to gold when mixed with mercury in an alchemical process, so one who is properly trained and initiated by a bona fide spiritual master immediately becomes a Brahmin. There is a difference between the Smarta process and the Goswami process. According to the Smarta process, one cannot be accepted as a Brahmin unless he is born in a Brahmin family. According to the Goswami process, the Haribhakti Vilas and the Narada Pancharatra, anyone can be a Brahmin if he is properly initiated by a bona fide spiritual master. This is also the verdict of Shukadeva Goswami in Srimad Bhagavatam. Kiratas, Hunas, Andras, Pulindas, Pulkashas, Abiras, Shurvas, Yavanas, and members of the Kasa races, and even others who are addicted to sinful acts, can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord, due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. A Vaishnava is immediately purified, provided he follows the rules and regulations of his bona fide spiritual master. It is not necessary that the rules and regulations followed in India be exactly the same as those in Europe, America, and other Western countries. Simply imitating without effect is called niyamagraha. Not following the regulative principles, but instead living extravagantly, is also called niyamagraha. The word niyama means regulative principle, and agraha means eagerness. The word agraha means not to accept. So agraha, with long A, is eagerness, over-enthusiastic. And agraha means reject, not to accept. So both are condemned. We should not follow regulative principles without an effect, nor should we fail to accept the regulative principles. What is required is a special technique according to country, time, and candidate. Without the sanction of the spiritual master, we should not try to imitate. This principle is recommended here. Shushka Vairagya Gyan Sabani Shedila. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's liberal demonstration of the Bhakti cult. We should not introduce anything whimsically, without the sanction of the bona fide spiritual master. In this connection, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments on these points by quoting two verses by Rupa Goswami. Anasakta Savishaya Nitara Mukayunjita Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagya Muchate Prapanchikatyaya Buddhya Hari Sambandhi Vastuna Mumukshubi Parityago Vairagum Falgukatate. This is from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. When one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accepts everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not as complete in his renunciation. To preach the Bhakti cult, one should seriously consider these verses. When do you have to leave? How much time?
About